You gotta stop? Okay.
Okay, I want to be remembered as a mountain goddess, river queen, mountain queen, goddess, river, ocean, queen, princess. That's what I want.
Okay. I love that answer. And I'm gonna end this video
One
because
with the earth.
what? Don't do it to him, Fizzle. What's up, everybody? This is my girl. This is Shakoul, and this is Bria.
Hey, y'all.
I got a special guest, Bria, here. I'm gonna ask her literally questions that everybody be asking me, and just specific questions about literally her and her experience living as a solo traveler, as a expat. But I'm gonna first have her introduce herself, tell her her name, age, and where she's from, and then I'm gonna ask her some hard-hitting questions and some easy questions. So,
All right, so hey, y'all. My name is Bria Maine. I am 30 years old. I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. I made my roots in Atlanta, Georgia, and finally moved abroad to Bangkok, Thailand, and this is my home now.
okay. All right. Before I get more into the traveling thing, I'm gonna ask you a hard question I ask. Even on my dates, I ask this question. So I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'm gonna start asking this question to everybody I interview or speak to. So, and it's only 3 words, but it's hard for people to answer this question.
He's been telling me he's going to give me a hard-hitting question. I'm like, what could the question be? Like, it can't be that hard.
All right. So the first question is, who are you?
Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me.
People find this question hard, so.
Am a worldly being. I am a global citizen. I am a part of this universe. I feel like I am part of the bigger picture. It's not just me. I'm definitely not my name, my job, where I'm from, none of that stuff. But yeah, I think I'm just part of the bigger subconscious or conscious of life, the world, whatever. I may not be able to verbalize it well, but I'm one of those people who think like we're all connected, we're all part of a bigger picture.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That was deep. Can you tell everybody a little bit about you, like your upbringing? What you've been doing? How did you get to this, place in your life? Just tell me a little bit, like first from where you begun, and then just give us a brief update where you gone to now. So.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start in honor of Black History Month saying, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, be black. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm from somewhere where, like, a lot of people don't leave. A lot of people don't make it. A lot of people don't. Well, I'm not hating on where I come from. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, it's not a place that people typically move to. You know, it's a place that you typically leave. I'm from divorced parents. I had it rough. Like, I had to work at a young age. I've just always had to grind, hustle. Like, I've always had that mentality. I got it from my father where I'm like, I'm gonna make a way for myself no matter what. So becoming a young woman, I kind of decided, like, I don't want to be a stereotype. I don't want to be put in a box, and I didn't want to be what I had just seen in my communities, a single black mom, to be honest with you. So a lot of my life and a lot of what I've done and worked hard for, which I went to college for business, worked in data analytics, 10 years for a corporate company, decided to leave all that behind, become a teacher, do something more, progressive to help the community. Like, despite all of that, I always just had this mindset and mentality, like, I have to do whatever I have to do to make it. And I think I was in survival mode for most of my life, and then at some point something clicked and I decided I didn't want to live like that anymore, and I actually want to live and experience my life. And that's one of the big reasons why I moved to Thailand. I feel like I live a better quality of life here.
Okay, I'm glad we got to the subject of Thailand. I'm sorry you had to go through that hard upbringing. I feel like everybody has like a story, like they have hard upbringings and stuff. I have a story. I'm pretty sure a lot of people around the world have a story, and that's kind of why I wanted you to, bring up like a little bit about you, so you can just tell people like a little bit about you and your story, so they can kind of relate to you in a way. And as we're talking about traveling, I want to know what sparked your mind into traveling. What was that thing that was like, wow, that's the reason I want to move to Bangkok, Thailand?
Well, traveling in general, I've always been extremely interested in learning about other cultures, languages. I studied different languages growing up. I studied abroad in China at one point. So I always kind of had like that travel bug and wanted to just get out there and see the world. But I would say after working 10 years corporate and paying numerous rents to different locations, paying off car notes, like just always feeling like every time I accomplished something, they moved the bar a little bit, you know? So I never really felt accomplished, and it got to a point where I literally was just like, I just don't want to pay rent. I'd rather save money so I can go travel. And that's kind of what I started to do. I decided to leave my apartment. I did like nomadic traveling and living in the car, RV life, all that stuff, moved back home with family. I saved a lot of money. And the reason why I chose Thailand was really based off of research, trying to find somewhere that suited a lady like me, you know. Again, I mentioned to him that I'm bisexual. I'm also cannabis friendly. Like, that's something that Thailand's cool with. That was kind of a big deal for me. And I hate pointing that out, but I feel like it's something that people need to know. Like, when you choose where you want to move, like, yeah, choose somewhere that's going to accept you and not just tolerate you. Yeah.
And that's good for anybody that wants to travel, you know. I mean, I know people got a little bit of perspective of me, but I wanted people to get a perspective from somebody else, and not just somebody else, a woman that's black and that's actually in the LGBTQ community. So, I mean, I just wanted other people to know that it's other people out here that's not just, you know, me, a black man, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted other people.
So, it's such a huge community out here, honestly. It surprises me. Like, I'm always telling people to, like, start a YouTube. But, like, if everyone who's out here really living this lifestyle started YouTube, we'd just be flooded with, like, expats, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's such a big community out
Yeah,
here.
and I'm glad that you said all this. I wanted to know, has your experience as not only just a woman, but a black woman here in Thailand, has it been tremendously different from being in the States? And can you explain?
Yeah, in every way, 100%.
Because I know you brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, this is a topic that's hard for me to talk about sometimes because it is so divisive. I don't want to be the type of person who's like, yeah, in America, they just treat us like crap, and here they treat you better. Because I hear that narrative a lot, even coming from men, you know? Oh, you come to Thailand, they treat you like a king. In America, they treat you like crap. I'm not going to generalize everything. Everybody's experience is different. But I would say overall, the stress on a black woman living in America is extremely much higher than being here. And I feel like, personally, being a black woman is just because we've always been kind of like, it's like, how do you say this? We've always kind of been the ones to look out for everybody. We're always kind of the ones who get bashed on, you know, when people are upset, you know, take your anger out on the black lady, the angry black lady. But in reality, I'm like, black women, in my opinion, look out for everybody. Like, I'm a lover. I just want to be somewhere where they love me back. And I feel like in Thailand, they don't really have a reason to have an issue with me being a black woman. I think that's a very westernized, like, concept of, like, black and white, which doesn't even make sense in general. But no, I don't deal with the stress of people hating me, to be honest with you. Like, I dealt with hate from people that I've never even met, never seen, never talked to, and just being a black woman in America, they hated me. So that's my experience. Here, I don't think anybody really gives too much of craps about me being black. If anything, they're just interested in how I got my hair braided like this. Like, that's about it. Like, no one cares. There's no extra animosity towards people who look like me. So, yeah.
Well, as you saying that, do you think for other black women that want to come here, do you think it will be hard for them to adjust to the lifestyle of being in Thailand? Meaning, like, if they wanted to, you know, get her products, or if they wanted to, you know, dress a certain way, you know what I'm saying? But you think it would be hard to adjust? And
I don't don't think it would necessarily be hard to adjust. I just think it's an adjustment. Anything that you want, you know, you may have to make some changes to attain that. For example, if you want a snatch body, you might have to go to the gym, you know? So I feel like in Thailand, like if you want to be a black woman living in Thailand, you may have to outsource some products. You may have to order some products from home or get them sent to you. They may not have all the things that you want. When it comes to clothes, you know, there's some things that are, most things are quite small. So like depending on the size, you may have to, you know, order clothes online or order from another place. But those small inconveniences haven't been enough for me to be like, oh, this is somewhere I don't want to live. Because whatever I need, I have access to it. It's just there may be an adjustment I need to go about getting it. Whereas like hair products, all that stuff is very like easy for me to get in the States. I might have to take, you know, a little extra step to order it ahead of time or, you know, order it from another country.
Okay. I mean, hopefully that helps a lot of women out there. You know, if they come out here, you can just literally order from a different country. It might take a little bit longer, but
also,
you know,
they have hair braiders here. So if you get your hair braided like me, there are hair braiders in Thailand. You just have to be open to allowing, you know, a Thai person to work on your crown. You know, I personally braid my own hair, but there's a lot of women out here who get their hair done by Thai locals, and they look great.
And speaking of other women, how did you meet other women like you, or just meet anybody in general? Did you know anybody coming here, or did you kind of just meet people out in the streets? How did you?
I knew a few people coming here because I've been here before, but mostly those were Thai people, like some Thai friends I made. So when it comes to like other, you know, Americans or just other foreigners being here, I joined a community, the Tribe of Nomads, and I was able to be connected with so many different people and actually go to community events to meet them face to face. Other than that, I was typically subscribed to YouTubers who were living this lifestyle and, you know, supporting them on their journey, but having never met them. So there's a lot of people, you know, big content creators in Thailand already. A lot of them I, you know, was watching, but it wasn't until I joined the Tribe of Nomads, the community, where I actually started making new friends who were foreigners.
Okay. And do you think a lot of women that wants to come here, do you think they will have problems coming here as a black woman, or no?
I think in Thailand, the race part of it doesn't really matter. I think the more concern I would have is coming here as a woman, because coming here as a woman looks a little bit different than coming here as a man. Especially when it comes to like dating and things like that. So as a black woman out there listening, I don't think you'd be concerned about your safety as being black. If anything, I was more concerned about my safety being a black woman in America. Here it's more so depending on your lifestyle and what you want to do. The main thing I've heard is the issue of black women connecting with local people or connecting with local men and dating, things like that. But no, as far as like just safety or coming here, you want to move here, girl, if you have money, just come on.
Okay.
And just come on.
And how long you been here? You've been here for?
So in total, it's going on like 1 year now. But I broke it up. So I was here for 6 months, and then I went back to the U.S. for like 7 months. And now I've been back here for 4 months. So no, another 2 months, it'll be a year. Yeah, so going on a year. Yeah.
Okay, and then do you think it was hard because of the language barrier, or even just the cultural difference they have here?
I think it would be hard for somebody who's not very familiar with Asian cultures. I grew up very interested in Asian cultures, learning Chinese. I learned some Japanese a little. Like I was totally into just like Asian lifestyle and their values, and then also studying abroad. So for me personally, it wasn't really a big like culture shock. The biggest culture shock for me was like the riding the motorbikes, you know?
Okay, yeah.
For me, I'm like, Bangkok is like any other big city, but yeah, the language barrier, it can be a problem. It can become a problem, but I think I would just say just use Google Translate. Just use Google Translate. It works, and it works well.
Technology is definitely our friend when it comes to it, because I use it a lot. Do you think the currency exchange or anything like that, is that a problem, or do you?
Well, the exchange rate be changing sometimes. That can be a little annoying. Like 1 week you can go and get some money, and they're like, oh, the exchange rate's 3, and then the next day it's 2.5. It's 2. So it changes. That's a little annoying, but at the end of the day, the US dollar is gonna trump, you know, baht. And the main thing is like international fees. So if you're using your card all the time, Yeah, your bank is
Oh,
probably
yeah,
going to be
you
charging you
can't.
international fees
Yeah.
every time you swipe the card, and it may be a small percentage, but it adds up over time, especially when you're like living here.
Yeah,
So.
you gotta get them no foreign transaction fees.
Right.
Yeah, I got a credit card like that. Let me know. Hit me up if y'all want to. Comment below. So what about your family? Did they not want you to come here? Did they fear you coming here? Yeah, tell me a little bit about that, cause I had some people in my family that didn't want me to come, but I just kind of want to know yours, especially because you were solo.
Yeah.
traveler.
Most of my family like are pretty supportive of what I do. It's kind of like, okay, she gonna do whatever she gonna do, because honestly, it's not my first time traveling or just up and going somewhere.
Mm.
So they're kind of like, okay, it is what it is. But I have had a few people being like, isn't that a third world country? Like, why are you moving over there? And like, I just even hate that whole term third world, because I don't even fully understand. I'm like, how can I be living in a city that they made movies about, riding on motorbikes, like having public transportation, eating food, all different cuisines from around the world? Like, I can get a condo here, but it's a third world country. I'm like, it doesn't feel like it.
I don't get that term at all, honestly.
I'm like, what makes it that?
Yeah, that's what I be thinking. Because honestly, I be seeing apartments and stuff, and I feel like I'm living good. I don't know what the third world country means and all that, but I don't know what that stereotype.
This is the nicest I've ever lived, honestly. It might be a little small, but I'm like, this is the nicest I've ever lived. I've never had something this nice in America, and the closest I had to something this nice was way older. Like, it probably had 100 people living in it before I moved in, type shit, you know. And I'm like, this place is, no one's been here, it's just me, it's brand new, and it's under $400. So I'm like, how is this third world? Maybe because the price is lower. Like, I don't really know what determines that.
I lived in LA, man, and I lived in a closet, so I definitely live bigger than that. And you know, my place got a pool and
If
you know,
anything,
gym
LA
and
is a
everything.
third world country. At this point, LA is the third world country.
She said
honey.
it.
Whatever, get mad, but if y'all know it's true. I ain't trying to live nowhere where shit's burning down, there's homeless people around, you can't afford to live. That sounds like a third world country to me. We live pretty good over here.
And honestly, I don't even see that many like homeless people like that. I think I saw like maybe one or two, maybe, but it ain't nowhere near as much as like New York or LA or anything like that. And so people be kind of worried about stuff like that. But
I think they take better care of their citizens here. Like, you may see
I
a few
definitely
homeless
agree.
people, but it's like, it's not gonna be like how you see in the West, where like these people just out here and it's like sad almost, like that we can't help these people or do more. But it's just like greedy corporate, you know, greed. Everybody got money, but you'll just walk right past somebody suffering on the street. Like, that's another reason why I just wanted to get out of that Western mindset of like, I just need to make money. I need to make more money than you, be better than you. I'm like, why don't you try and be a good person?
Yeah, that mindset in Thailand, I don't see it. It don't exist. I don't know what the Western have with that whole mindset, but it doesn't exist here. And I just be tired of that mindset, and clearly she is too. But another question I had was, you single, correct? Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your dating experience here? Dang, though.
Dating experience in Thailand. It ain't all bad. I think the biggest issue is the language barrier, especially for women and men. I find that men that I talk to typically come here and the language barrier is not as big of an issue. But for women, especially, like, they kind of want to have a guy talk game to them, flirt with them, do whatever. And it's like, if we don't speak the same language, it's like really difficult to like kind of have that banter, you know? So it's like, yeah, we can use Google Translate. I can get to know you. We can hang out, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't have the patience and actually the attraction and time to sit with that person and really go through that language barrier, like it can be quite difficult. And then when it comes to dating foreigners, absolutely not. I'm sorry, just no. There's plenty of them here, but honey, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. If you're a black woman and you're coming to Thailand, the foreigners did not come here for you. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that as is. They came here for Thai women. So like, a lot of people come over here and they're like, I don't want to date Asian men. And I'm like, well, why would you move to an Asian country? You might need to work on that language barrier. You might need to, like, I'm learning Thai, you know, like, it just is what it is. It's not impossible. There's definitely some local people here who speak English, you know, like, you can find people on dating apps, but I'm not using dating apps right now. So like, if I meet someone, it's just like, I meet them face to face, and typically it's gonna be a local Thai dude who thinks I'm kind of cute and wants to spit a little bit of the English that he knows to me. you know. But then after a while, I'm like, all right, where are we going with this? What are you trying to do? Because you're not coming to my condo. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with that.
Okay, I don't know if this is good, bad. I guess it's just...
It's not. It's yin and yang, honey.
Yeah.
It's yin and yang. Like, it's some good, it's some bad. But, like, Thai men are like any other man. They want to date. They like women. They think you're beautiful. But if they can't tell you, wow, I think you're beautiful, like,
do you think it's
where do you go from there? You know?
Do you think it's a difference from the men here, Thai man, and the men in the States? Like, is the mindset different? Is it because they're like 100%. They want to work harder in the States and they want to wear these
no, I think Thai men work very hard. I think Thai men work very hard. I think they're very family oriented. Okay. Like, they'll slave to the last moment to provide for their family. I don't know how well that works when trying to have a relationship, you know, like at least from the friends that I've had and the experience I've had dating Thai men, they're very family focused. I gotta work, I gotta take care of my family, like, especially us Westerners having money, and we're over here because we're like, wow, things are so affordable. That's not the reality for a lot of Thai people, you know. So I wouldn't necessarily say that Western men or Thai men, they work harder, someone works harder. I think it's just the values. I think money is valued a lot more than family in the West. Here in the East, it's like family is valued before the money. So
I agree. I
don't know, like the whole mindset in the West is like, as soon as you can, start working, leave your family, get your own house, get a car, get your own, get everything on your own. Here, they're like, let's all work together to kind of make sure everybody's straight, everybody's okay, everybody has what they need, and nobody's just out on their own. Yeah.
And I do want to piggyback what you said earlier. I think this country, they care way more about their citizens than, you know, the United States and the citizens there, because literally when I came here, I only been here for 2 weeks, but when I first came here, they had like a pollution thing going on. And they got the same kind of pollution, like bad pollution in Los Angeles. But when here, they made all the buses and trains, you know, free for the whole week. They would never do that in LA or...
They would be more concerned. You know how much money we're going to lose if we make it free so that people can, you know, lower the pollution, people take more public transportation. They would never, because they would only be concerned about how much money they're going to lose.
And it's actually more people here in Bangkok than it is in Los Angeles. People don't know this, but it's more people here in Bangkok than it is in Los Angeles. So I just don't get how they can do that here in Bangkok, but they can't even do it in Los Angeles. But you know, but it just shows how, you know, how they care about people in the United States. Do you think it was other reasons that made you move from the United States that to come out here in Thailand?
The issue with work-life balance, like, I worked way too much. I never had enough time to spend with my family or travel or do anything fun. I always felt like I had to be like, oh, just take 2 weeks to go do something for yourself. There's no, like, self-care, you know? It's just like work. Like, that's literally what it was in America. The commute, driving around, sitting in traffic all day, like, just everything, like, about the lifestyle I was living. I was just like, I would rather be doing something else. Like, I even told my family, I was like, I don't even want to drive. I paid off a whole car in America, you know, but I was like, I'd rather not have to drive, you know. And I'm like, living in Bangkok, I don't even have to drive. I don't even need a car. So, like, just everything about the Western kind of lifestyle, it just did not work for me anymore. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it works for a lot of people. It just didn't work for me personally. And at that point, I had to ask myself, I was like, why do you continue to do something that doesn't work for you? Do you not realize that you have choice, you know? And I think a lot of people don't think about it. I'm like, if you don't like where you're at, move. Get up and leave. Go somewhere else. Go to another state if it's not like a whole nother country. Like, you don't have to just continue to do the same thing, live the same life, get the same results. That's literally like the definition of crazy, I think. Doing the same thing and expecting different results, you know? So I kept getting the same results with my lifestyle, and I was like, you know what? I want different results. I'm going to do something different. So I packed up and left.
Hey, that's what you got to do sometimes. You just got to think about your life and think about if you want to keep living this life or do you want to just get up and move. And the only person that's going to do that is literally you.
No one's coming to save you.
Nobody. And I be telling people, like, a lot of people hit me up about moving and you so brave for doing that. How did you do it? What's the steps you took? Look, everybody's journey is different. Everybody took their own steps to get here, you know. But the way you just do it, you really just literally book your flight and do it, you know. It ain't no like, oh, how how you do it. I'm gonna take the same steps, A, B, C, D, E. You literally, yours is gonna be different than mine. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I did my own research. I did different types of researches, and I, you know, kind of even met people from in weird places. I was just like, oh man, I didn't think I was gonna meet somebody on YouTube, which I met her from YouTube, and I didn't think I was gonna meet this person from this group. You know what I'm saying? It's just your journey is gonna be different than everybody else's journey. You know. But just do it, you know what I'm saying? And that's only if you really want to do it. And I always tell people this too. If you rate yourself, if you rate the time that you want to move, like 1 out of 10, how much you want to move, and it's a 10, that means you will walk to the place that you want to move to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'll do whatever it takes.
You do whatever it takes, exactly. And so if you think to yourself, out of 1 out of 10, how much do I want to move? And if it's a 9 or a 10, then you will walk. You will literally do whatever it takes to move. So, I also want to ask this question. You tell me if you want to answer this question. I'm only going to ask this question because I get this stereotype a lot, and I just wanted you to tell me your experience. Now, people always ask me or tell me, give me this statement, and I'm going to ask you what your experience is about it. But it's the lady boys that's here in Thailand.
What about them?
So every time I talk,
the way you looked at me when you said, you're like, I'm like,
I know it's gonna be a weird question, and that's why I was just laughing.
Yeah.
But people always be like, and I swear, people probably want to know this, but a lot of the guys, especially, they be like, "Hey, Shakoul, you better watch out for them lady boys," or they hit me. I'm already here, and they already asking me. So have you met a lot of the lady boys? Have you been tricked or something yet? And I just want to know what's your experience on this. If you want to answer it. If you don't, repeat the fifth.
Yeah, I mean, it's no problem. Well, first off, I don't have any experience with lady boys.
Okay.
I haven't been with one. I haven't talked to one. I've seen them. I've been around them. They said, like, hey to me. Like, hey, when I'm walking down the street. But, like, I don't really have experience with them. I'm not out here, having sex with lady boys. But I think that there are a lot of men who come out here and they want to partake in that, to each his own. Whatever floats your boat. But the whole concept and idea that, like, in Thailand you just got lady boys coming up to you trying to, like, get with you, touch on you, grab, that's just not true. Like, if you're interested in that type of stuff, in that type of time, like, they there for you. But I'm like, if you're a straight man and you're not interested in that, they're gonna leave you alone. Like, you're not interested. So what I find is that there's a lot more men who are interested in coming here to be with lady boys than would like to admit. I'm like, if you're coming to Thailand, why are you, out of all the beautiful, amazing things going on in Thailand, all the beautiful, amazing Thai women, everything, I'm like, why are you so concerned about the lady boys?
Right.
Unless maybe you're concerned about the lady boys.
Because they be undercover sometimes. But
here's the thing. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
You could be in America and it could be, somebody who's maybe transgendered or they're transitioning or something. I'm like, I don't really think it, like, to me, lady boys is nothing different that I seen back in the States. I just think it's more prevalent here because it's more accepted. Like, being a lady boy here, like, the Thai people don't look down on you or treat you bad or talk shit about you. They're just like, oh, that's a lady boy. But I think especially in American culture, it's like, oh my God, what the?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that's not the time that you're on, like, it's not really going to be a concern of yours.
Yeah, and I totally agree with her. A lot of people ask me this question, so I wanted y'all to get the perspective from her and not just from me. The same thing she said is the same thing I'm going to say. If you're not really worried about it, it's not really... And, of course, it's lady boys here, but, I mean, I seen them, but I ain't really like,
Yeah, they're not running up to you like, hey, I want to... Getting over.
They don't, like, I see them all the time. I see them working. I see them
They're regular people.
They're regular people.
Yeah.
I don't bother them. They don't bother me. It really ain't what it is. It is what it is, But, I do think that a lot of people be afraid to come here because of that. I don't know if you know that.
I think Western people are very sexualized. That's another thing, too. Out East, like, PDA is not even really a thing here in Thailand. Like, you don't even really see people making out, touching, holding, grabbing each other in public. That is a very private, intimate thing here. And one of my Thai friends explained that to me. Like, if you do that in public, it's actually kind of disrespectful. They don't want, like, let's say we were together and we're walking down the street, we may hold hands or something like that. But if you just pull me on the side, start making out with me, grab my ass cheeks, so that's very American. That's very Western. They would literally feel disrespected by you doing that. So I feel like because, like, in America we're so like sexualized. They're just like you think of Thailand, the first thing is sex. I'm like,
yeah, that is
there's
true.
so much other shit to do. Like in Thailand, like if you're not on that time, you're gonna be fine. But unfortunately, a lot of people do come here for sex tourism, and it does give like a bad rep sometimes because for the people like expats, nomads who come here and actually want to create a life here, live, you know, get to know the locals, learn the language, like you might get pushed into that bubble with the people who just came here to do sex tourism with ladyboys and you know, in these bars and these red light districts. But not everybody's here for that, and every country you go to has their problems. A lot of countries have these same problems, it's just hidden more. In Thailand, it's in your face, it's right there, but I think because of that, it doesn't bother people as much. It's like, okay, y'all over there, y'all doing that, I'm gonna go over here.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And I think people that be asking me these questions, I'll be like, y'all kind of childish for this, because it's just like, why are we even talking about this? Like, we could be talking about way better things, like how's the culture, how's the temples, how's this, that, and the third.
Food,
you know, how's the food? And the food is amazing here, but we can get on to that. But I just be tired of hearing the same. And I swear I heard this question a lot, and it be mostly from guys. I don't know what's up with guys, and you need to watch out for them lady boys, or what are those lady boys out there, you know? And they don't really say lady boys, they be like transgenders and stuff like that, but basically the same
here's
thing.
the thing, it's the same thing in other countries. That's why it kind of blows my mind. I'm like, what makes it more of a concern being in this country versus being in like America?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because Bangkok is
because it's like kind of known for the
yeah. And that's why I asked you that, because it's kind of known. I don't know if you get this question from other people, but I get it.
No, I think that's what I'm saying. Being in Thailand is different for men and women a lot too. Because I'm like, people rarely. Maybe one time, maybe somebody mentioned it. It wasn't even in my YouTube comments. It was like somebody that I was talking to on my phone, and they like sent me an article of like about ladyboys doing something, and I was like, why? He was like, does this happen? And I was like, I don't know. Like that's not like, like I was just like, okay, but that was like one time. But I think it's because I'm a woman. It's like they don't expect the ladyboys to be approaching me. They think you come in here, they're gonna go after him. But in reality, they're gonna go after whoever is about that life.
Like if you searching for,
ladyboy, they gonna get with you.
Yeah, if you searching for a lady boy, you could definitely find one, you know.
Right.
And if you're not searching for one, you probably ain't gonna find one because you ain't gonna care, you know.
Right. You're not even paying attention to that.
Yeah, and I see them. I don't pay no mind to them. They don't say nothing to me. I don't say nothing to them. I just keep going past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but yeah, we can. I just wanted to get your perspective on that. Yeah. Would you recommend any activities or anything for people to do while they're here?
I would say if you come to Bangkok, try not to be the typical tourist. You're definitely going to overpay. You're going to triple, quadruple overpay if you just doing tours all day and sightseeing. I'm like, you got to do your research, learn how the city works, and you can see it on your own for a fraction of the price. And that means going to temples, going to cafes, going to see the elephants, going on river rides, like all type of stuff you can do if you kind of do your research. Utilize apps like Get Your Guide, things like that to get like good prices and learn how the city works so that you can kind of navigate your own transportation, because I find a lot of money that I spend goes into transportation when it came to like doing activities like that. Oh, we gotta book a tuk-tuk, we gotta get a taxi, we gotta do this. I'm like, if you learn how like the transportation system works, all of that, like you can get around this city so easily. You can see anything. Like every day could be a new adventure in Bangkok. There's like so much to do, but it can get expensive if you're living like a tourist.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's cool. So don't be living like a tourist. And just do stuff that you want to do. I will tell y'all stuff like I did, but I wouldn't recommend this. Don't do the ping pong show. I mean,
oh my god.
I only did this because one of my friends came and visited, and she wanted to go. I was like, I don't really want to do this, but
yo, I've never been to the ping pong show, but apparently they shoot ping pongs out of all type of orifices.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna even tell you.
Tell us, what did they do?
No, we don't need to know.
I'd love to know.
I'm gonna just tell you this: if you don't want any trauma, any like bad memories, PTSD. If you want to sleep well that night or any other night, don't go to the ping pong show. And unless you really want to be entertained and just see some.
Depends on what you call entertainment.
Yeah, this is some. It's some stuff that you definitely haven't seen.
Debauchery.
it's kind of wild. But if you do want to do some other activities that doesn't have anything to do with ping pongs,
They got nice titty bars.
I actually never been to.
You should have went there. I don't know why you went to the ping pong show.
Well, I guess
gross.
I can't even say that because the ping pong show was basically the same thing.
Yeah, but the titty bars, they don't use ping pongs.
I mean,
they should just left the ping pongs out of it. I think that's where things went crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, the nightlife is cool. I went to some temples. I don't know if you went to some temples. I haven't really did. I went to like the Chinese New Year stuff.
I think it's Songkran Festival, where the water festival's coming up in April, where they shoot the water guns at everybody. So that's like a good one to go to.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah. Okay.
I think the best thing about Thailand is really just the night markets. Like wherever you live, like there's gonna be at least some type of small night market. So like you can literally just leave your home and just walk around and just see what's going on. So that's why I'm like, there's always something to do in Thailand. But I lived back home in Atlanta in a place where I was like, after a certain time, I'm not walking around the streets at night. There is nothing to do and nobody's open. So anybody out past a certain time, you know they up to no good. But Thailand is not like that. I'm like, at any time you can just get up, walk outside, and just it's lit up.
It's very safe, you guys. I think the first and second night I came, I woke up at like 4:30 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to 7-Eleven. And the only reason I did this is because I knew on YouTube everybody said it was safe. So I had to walk like around a corner, I had to walk through an alley too. So I walked to 7-Eleven and I was just sitting up seeing people. They saying, you know what I'm saying? They saying, and I'm just like, what's up? You know?
You're like, we couldn't sleep.
Exactly. So,
7-Eleven.
And it was some people working out there. I'm like, how y'all working at 4:30? Ain't nobody out here.
24/7. Thailand is on.
Yeah, it's always on. And it's very safe out here. I think it's a lot of great things in Thailand. Do you think there's any bad things that you can think of?
I mean, from my experience, I always say the main thing that I don't really like is the pollution.
Okay.
But everybody complains about that. Like, it just kind of is what it is, and I feel like there's worse things to deal with. Like, yeah, maybe the air pollution can be a little rough some days, and I do be having allergies sometimes. But would I prefer air pollution or poisoned food? Like, I think about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like back home, I felt like it was so difficult to find, like, healthy, good food to keep my body running the way I needed to.
Yeah, it was expensive if you did.
Exactly, or it's expensive. So I'm like, sometimes, like, you just have to accept the fact that nowhere's going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere in this whole world is perfect. So there's something you're going to have to sacrifice. But for me, having air pollution was worth the quality of life that I have.
Okay. Okay, well, air pollution is bad, but honestly, I was in LA with the wildfires. It was bad there.
Yeah.
It was time for me to go. But do you think you would ever move back to the States? Or you thinking about doing a solo traveling nomad life?
Personally, I prefer to travel, and I want to see the world before I die, if possible. You know, right now my headspace is not interested in moving back to the States whatsoever. But I could see maybe in the future, maybe building a home or like something like that. But it just depends on the economy, what's going on. Like the States is really in just like a crazy time right now, and it's been crazy for a long time, like since COVID, even really before, honestly. So right now I don't see it, but I can't say never. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is my home. Like, I will always be a U.S. citizen. Like, my family's there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But until I'm ready to really sit my ass down, which I'm not ready yet. Like, I'm chilling. I'm chilling in Bangkok, but pretty soon I'm going to be doing more trips, doing other things. Like, when I'm ready to sit down, or maybe if I find a partner, I want to have a kid or something like that, like, maybe. But for now, no.
Okay. Well, before we end this, I got one more question I got two more questions, actually, Bill. This question, for people that want to move out here but don't have a job, what would you tell them? Because you work out here, right?
Well, I did work out here.
Okay.
Currently, I'm doing online content creation right now.
Okay.
But when I did work out here, I was teaching. That's one of the easier jobs. I don't even want to say easy, but it's one of the main jobs that a lot of expats get when they come here. But most people that I meet are some type of online work, remote work, content creation like that. But even if you're not working, what I would recommend is just have a savings. Have a savings. Come out here, have a savings, and then allow yourself time to focus on creating passive streams of income. I think that's the best advice I would give people, because It's not like you're gonna come here and get a job at the McDonald's or get a job at the mechanic shop. Like, those jobs are not for foreigners, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when you come here, you're gonna have to be creative about the way that you make money. And I recommend everybody to have several streams of income. Don't depend on one corporation or one company or anything. Like, you need to be trying to make money whatever way you can, really, nowadays. So
okay, so you got to make some money. Hopefully you have a remote job. If you don't, then
have a savings.
Have a savings.
Plan for it.
You
Some
know,
people work for a certain amount of time, stack up a certain amount of money, and then make a plan and be like, I'm gonna come here for a certain amount of time before I need to stack money again.
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing right now. So, what about the visa situation? A lot of people, wherever country you go to, you gonna have this visa situation where you not a native, you're not a citizen there, so you're gonna have to have this visa situation. So how has the visa situation been for you?
Okay. So Thailand is one of the like easier places when it comes to like their visa situation, because Thailand's economy is mainly based off of tourism. It's like a big part of it. So they want people to come. They want people to come and live here as well, not even just vacation. So I feel like they have a lot of different visas depending on your lifestyle. If you make a certain amount of money, you can get a DTV visa. If you work remotely, you can get a visa. If you're a student learning Thai or language or Muay Thai, you can get a education visa. If you're working like a teacher or something, you can get a non-B working permit type visa. So they have a lot of different visa options. But if you just come here as a tourist, you're fine as well. That's what I'm on right now. You get 60 days, 2 months on arrival, and you can extend that for 30 days by going to immigration and paying 1,900 baht. So after 3 months, 90 days, you must leave the country if you do come here on a tourist visa. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're okay with traveling, it's not the biggest deal. It's basically saying, okay, every 3 months I gotta like take a trip. And being in Bangkok, it's so close to so many other countries, very cheap flights you can find. So you can go on a pretty affordable trip once every 90 days if you're on a tourist visa. But if you want to stay here long term, it does benefit you to look into getting some other like long form visa, or if you're a retired person, you can get a retirement visa as well. Yeah,
that's good. So you got some information if you want to come out here and get some visas, you know. I'm trying to get mine, so it's gonna be a little bit of a road, but we're gonna get there and hopefully be smooth sailing. But last question, and then I'm gonna let you go. For your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, financial health, how is it different from being in the States and being here in Thailand?
Oh my God, I was a freaking mental wreck in the States. Like, I can't even lie. Like, mentally, I was always battling the fact that I was living a life I didn't want to live, and that every day I woke up and I just kept doing it again. So mentally, I wasn't very confident in myself. Like, I was struggling with believing in myself and the thoughts and the things that I knew that came to me. Like, I believe in God, you know, speaking to me, telling me you should be doing this, and I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna sit here and keep doing this, you know. That was kind of rough for me there. And just focusing so much on money, I don't value money. Like, I'm really spiritual in that way. I think money is worthless to a certain extent, but I understand this is the world we live in. You have to play the game like you need it to kind of play this game. So that was tough for me. But coming to Thailand, like, having less stress focused on the money aspect of it, having less stress focused on the work and just like how much it took on my body, like being exhausted at the end of the day, everything like that. I've been reading books. I've been working out, doing Pilates. Like, I drink tea almost every morning. Like, I eat fresh food. So like, just overall being in Thailand has been extremely great for like my mental health, and it's given me time to actually do the things that are making me a healthier person. Whereas in America, all I had time to do was make money, you know? Here I have time to work on Bria Maine, you know?
That's really good. That's really, really good. And that's good that you can really like look back at yourself in your past life when you was in the States and be like, dang, I really like changed a lot. I really changed for the better. I'm mentally, physically, emotionally, all that stuff has changed. And just from being in one country and being in another country, you just don't know what might happen if you move to a different country. You don't even have to move to necessarily Thailand. I'm pretty sure you go to any other country, you probably gonna change a lot. So
it's the environment. Like, if you take the same person You put them in a different environment, that person completely changes.
And you know, a lot of people in their minds, they are like, they like name brand stuff, or they like money so much. You know what I'm saying? But if they wasn't in that environment, like this in the States, they probably wouldn't even be thinking about none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like y'all see how we're dressed. Like in Thailand, you wear whatever you want. Nobody cares. Like it's not even about name. Nobody's thinking like that. Like nobody's looking at you like, oh, what shoes is he wearing?
Yeah, people be outside with flops on and just walking, you know, in the dark. So,
I seen a girl. She had on a big old t-shirt. I don't even think she had no pants on. She just had on a big old t-shirt and some flippers, and she was just walking to the 7-Eleven. And I was like, what in the world, girl? She was like, girl, I just got out of bed. I need a snack from the 7-Eleven, and I'm going back to bed.
That's how I felt.
They don't care. It's so chill.
4:30 in the morning, I had these big old jogging pants on. I'm gonna put holding them up, just going to the 7-Eleven with my shirt on. Just like, man, I just came to get a little snack.
Yeah,
you know?
they like, they be having their pajamas on. They don't care.
All right, last final question before I end this. I asked you, who are you at the beginning? I want to ask you, who do you want to be? And this is the last question.
I want to be a global citizen making full-time content, financially supporting myself so that I never have to work a 9-to-5 again, honey. That's what I want. I want to live my best life, support myself, and do it based off of just living, creating content.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, I think I'm going to end this content here. If you guys have any more questions, or if y'all want me to interview Bria again, please leave it down in the comments. Please go subscribe to her channel. I'll put a link down in the description below. And hopefully you guys live, laugh, learn, listen, and always love everybody. Don't do it to them. Thizzle. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.